Hi, this is Michelle from No Worries RVing, and we are at our family-owned campground in Ohio. We have Timon. It's parked over there in our parking spot. This is a parking spot we share with my parents, because that is my parents' camper right there. And we are going to do a project today. We're going to take off the stabilizers, sand them down, and give a new coat of paint on them. And they're getting pretty rusted. The sand abrasion out in California was pretty hard on them. This is where we stay when we're at the campground. We have a Breckenridge park model, and we're actually camping in it versus Timon, because this summer we plan on doing a lot of projects to it. Timon is all set up with electric and water, so we could actually camp in it, but why camp in it when you can camp in this? Jim made a little garden out of some buckets. So we've planted a bunch of different things in there, and it's really taken off pretty good so far, which we were pleasantly shocked. I'll give you a little quick tour of the Breckenridge camper, because I don't believe I've ever shown that. We have a deck here. Our smoker's over there smoking some ribs. Right here is the Breckenridge. We have the living space. We can actually close this off and make this into this front part here into a bedroom, but Jim's working. I'm editing. This is my little spot. And we have a full-size kitchen. Stove, oven, full-size refrigerator. We have a full bathtub. Turn the light on so you can see. My kitchen, we have the vanity, restroom, like I said, full-size bath, shower, queen bed, a lot of storage in here. There's a whole dresser drawer over there with TV. And full-size closet. But what's unique about our park model here, or Breckenridge, is different than any other one in the campground, is we have an upstairs. So we have a loft. If you go over there, there's a bedroom with a little TV. The boys, when they were younger, had a color TV set up there with their games. However, they were only allowed to play with the games when it was raining outside. And then we have a second space for another bedroom. Right now we're using it for some storage. So, this is where we camp at when we're at the campground and working on Timon. So, we don't have to worry about what we're doing in Timon while we're working on our sheet. We can come over here and stay in the evening. So, that's our plan today, is to take the stabilizers off, sand them, and then paint them. That's what this video is going to be. So, thank you for watching. We're going to have another tool time with Jim, where he does a DIY project on our stabilizers. So it looks like we have a bolt that is a 5/8, and then beside it, at each one, has a screw that is a 3/8. We're not sure why there's a screw in there too. So each one has two of each that we have to remove. So you have to take the little ones out first before you can get to the big ones. Ouch, that's my finger. There we go. First one's off. 3 more to go. Foot part.
I think what these are for is to hold it so it doesn't move around.
Oh, that's what the little screw's for.
Yeah, I guess so.
So as you can see, the part that goes on the ground, which is that piece right there, is completely rusted, and the sides of the leg, the one side's worse than the other, which is the side that hits the wind. So they definitely need some TLC. Jim has all 4 of them off now. The door side of the camper aren't quite as bad as the pull-out side, and that's the side that the wind and the sand hit worse. But even in the back, you can see.
Okay, this is one of them. You can see they work great. They just don't look good. They got a lot of surface rust on them.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to sand that off. Maybe repaint them and see how they come out.
Hey, it'd be good if they'd last another 4 years. That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're gonna last. It's just we're just trying to save on wear and tear because they are pretty rough.
They only cost, I think they cost like $35, $40 each. So they're not real expensive, but these are nice heavy ones and they've always worked and they're the right size.
They work perfectly, so
no sense in just throwing them away.
We're just gonna sand them and paint them. So the next step will be him sanding them and then painting them. Did you get one done yet?
Over there. It's mostly what I can scrape off anyway.
Okay. So how are you cleaning them?
Starting out with a screwdriver, trying to scrape off enough paint as I can. And it chips off. So these must have been like powder coated.
What other tools are you using?
Another wire brush.
Wait a minute.
And another wire brush. Smaller wire brush.
There's the wire brushes that he's using. So you're not using an actual sander?
You can't. It's too big.
Too big. Okay. Are you going to primer or just paint them?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Got some rust remover stuff here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a primer.
Okay.
Let's see what that is.
Looks like we're going to use this. It's called the Must for Rust, made by Curd. Is that what it's called? Curd? K-R-U-D. Curd.
Crud.
Crud.
Crud cutter.
Crud cutter. So it's called
It's a rust remover. Crud cutter rust remover.
Crud Rust Remover. The Must for Rust. We're going to use that. And then when we're done with that, then we'll paint them. We used the Crud Rust Remover, and then we lost power to the entire campground while we were finishing up that part of the project. Well, the power came back on. A little bit easier for you to see.
Yes.
Example of just the sanding. You can see the color, and then this is what it looks like after the rust removal.
I have the jacks or the stabilizers repainted. Harbor Freight, I guess it is. Harbor Freight sells a paint called Iron Armor chassis paint, which I really liked, and I think it's going to be tougher, but it doesn't go very far. I could only paint 2 of these, so I ended up using some Krylon rust protector for the other 2. There's no Harbor Freight by here, by where we live here. So see which one maybe works better. They may neither of them work too good, but if they last another couple years, we'll be good.
Yeah, it goes like that, because you wouldn't have a screw hole.
Yep. Yeah, there's it.
Yep. Now Jim's reinstalling them, and that'll be one of his about 20 projects to do this summer.
I know. Did you see our steps over there?
Yeah, we've been talking about getting those solid steps, I think is what they're called.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that you put and you just fold them up into the camper. I don't know how much they weigh because we already are probably pushing. Are they? Well, if they're lighter than ours, I think we need to look about getting some of those.
They're aluminum, you know.
Oh, okay. So that may be something we buy in the future. We dislike the steps that we have. One, they're slick.
And they're frosty.
When they're frosty. They're slick when they're wet. But more than that, they're a pain in the butt sometimes to get the bottom, the one step to slide in. Okay, we have 2 of them on. That one's been lubed. I need to lube this one. Jim's putting the 3rd one on. But we have a severe thunderstorm coming. The question is, can he get them on before the storm gets here? That has hail and high winds. That's what he's trying to do, beat the clock. A little of this powerful rust and erosion predator lube. Spray it right on the knob there. And then I take the handy dandy drill and go up and down with it a few times. Get it nice and lubed. This is one of the pleasures of living in Ohio in the summer. You have anywhere from 70-degree weather, sometimes 65, to 90 degrees.
100.
Today was 90. Yeah, Jim's right, sometimes it's 100. Today it was 91. But when it's 90, it's like 110% humidity, and then we get these nice thunderstorms and tornadoes. So 2 nights ago we had a tornado come across the top of the campground. It missed us, but it hit the next town over. It basically topped a bunch of the trees and threw branches on a bunch of cars and houses. Nobody was killed, but a lot of property damage, and electricity is still out in some areas. The Amish country over by Holmes County is out. It's getting darker, and Jim's on the last one. You gonna make it?
Yep.
I think so. I still have to lubricate it.
Are you leaving them down so this?
Nope. I'm leaving them up. You want me to put them down?
Stabilize the camper.
Are you worried about the camper blowing over?
Well, it could,
That's not going to stop it.
Blow off the thing.
Well, it might blow off the thing, but I'm not. I'd rather keep the wet paint dry by keeping them closed.
In the camper.
Huh? You want me to pull it down? Want me to put them down?
Your logic.
Okay, that's all. Okay, we got that DIY project done. And it hasn't started raining yet, but it's getting ready to. Jim just went to get some blocks to stick underneath the front 2 stabilizers because it's too far down. If you can see the sky over there, but it's turning a purple color, which is, if you know anything about the weather here in the Midwest, that is not a good color. So I'm just making sure I don't see any funnel clouds. It's pretty nasty looking. Hopefully it will miss us. It's not. I'll get it. You gonna go help Dad do something? Okay, go ahead. I'll get this.
I don't know who found this stuff, but it's pretty nice.
That's my dad.
Fluid film.
Fluid film. Okay, that one's a little off-centered, but it's under there. Got them down, nice painted. Project done. Want to put our room in or just leave it out?
It'd be better if it was in, but
We'll go put it in.
if what do you call it?
Make sure the trash can's not there.
Yeah.
We've already fixed that boo-boo. So we learned from the last time, our pepper plants, the big storm that came through like 2 days ago that had the tornado, blew my pepper plants over. So they are protected from the wind that we're about to get and the storm. So there's the gray color that almost turns purple. See it turning green? That's never a good sign in Ohio or in the Midwest.
No.
For a good storm. So that's the end of our DIY project. Vehicles, all except for the Colorado, are in shelter. My dad's is underneath his carport. Ours is in the pavilion, the white Nissan. One of the other owners put his car in the pavilion. And then we have this big boathouse that has our crown line in it and our fishing boat, and then one of the other owners put his vehicle in his stall. So But we keep our boats, our speed boats and our fishing boats down there. Each owner had their own individual stall. Mine's the first one, my dad's is the second one. So we've done everything we can for protection from the storm. So hopefully it just goes over us. Tornado warning has been issued. And there she comes.
Golf ball size hail coming down. And the wind's blowing each way.
That was a ball before it started melting.
Yeah, it's melting real quick. The wind comes from one way, then the other. And the electric here is out at our campground, which is bad because sometimes it stays out for quite a while because we're a rural county in the middle of nowhere in Ohio. So it's not a good thing. And we have no internet, so we have no TV.
No, nothing.
We can't work, can't do anything really.
Not that I have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, not that Michelle has to worry about it because she's retired, but I still work. So, well, we didn't have any damage from the storm, just a few down limbs. But around here, you know, anytime a windstorm comes through, we kind of expect that, so it's no big deal. Last year we cut down quite a few damaged trees. We had beetles come through, and they really affected the some of this tree species, so we cut down quite a few trees last year, so we were in pretty good shape to survive something like that. Back to the stabilizers. Let us know what you would have done with those camper stabilizers. Would you ever just replace them, or would you have taken the time and a few dollars to restore them like we did? Maybe buy some new ones. You know, they don't cost that much, and maybe they would, you know, would have been easier and cheaper just to buy some new ones. So we're just kind of curious what people out there would have done. We restore everything we can, really. Doesn't bother us. So thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe. Provide any comments you may have. And thanks for watching.